So we are taking a little trip into the land of pitch, Pitch. And there are lots of kinds of pitch, like especially in baseball and things like that. But pitch in music is how low and how high the note is actually sounding. So, thinking way back in our memory banks, if that thing up on the top with 5 lines and 4 spaces, what would that be labeled as? What is that called? The 5 lines and the 4 spaces. Yes, sir.
I wasn't reading.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Staff.
It's called the staff. So if I had to say, what is a staff? Like on a quiz one day, what would I say? The 5 lines and the 4 spaces where you write music. Now, here's how they get their names. This little fella right here, this curvy guy, he is called, you can guess it, it's already down there, a treble clef. Now, why don't you try to draw some treble clefs on your marker boards? Now, here's how I do it. Y'all can come up with your own way. But when I need to draw a treble clef, I draw a straight line going down and a little curly Q. Now, it's not so easy to do this with a mouse, but I'm going to give it my best shot. And then I go and make a little loop that crosses on the 4th line. And then I make a letter G that crosses on the 2nd line. So I'll just try and make a few of those. I'll try to get better at doing it with my mouse. Little loop, then the letter G, and it scoots around the 2nd line from the bottom. Now, you might think to yourself, well, why in the heck does that thing have to circle around the 2nd line from the bottom? Picky. No, I'm not being picky. That's because the name of the note on that line is G. The G is the 2nd line from the bottom. Now, who can think to themselves, what were the names of the lines in the treble clef? Yes, sir. Yes, except we don't use the word on because there is no O in the music alphabet. Okay, so now a line note is a line note because the middle of the line goes right through the middle of the note. Just like if you don't try this, of course. If an arrow went straight through the middle of a pumpkin or something like that, the pumpkin would be a line note. Okay? So Elvis's, so we're going to name that one E for Elvis. And the next line you told me was G, Elvis's guitar. Notice I always start at the bottom. Elvis's guitar broke down Friday. Okay. B and D. And F. Elvis's guitar broke down Friday. Now, the space notes are always in the space. So if they're in the space, it would be like if you had an apple and you put a piece of celery above and below the apple, okay? In the space means it fits in the space, Yes, sir.
So I did piano, and for space notes, to help remember it, my teacher said it's supposed to word face.
Exactly. Thank you, my man. Yes, the space notes, and I'm going to put those letters up above. The space notes spell that beautiful or handsome thing that you see in the mirror. F A C E. So that means we have two E's. We have a line note E and a space note E. And we have two choices for F. And those of you who take guitar or piano lessons, you know that you can add stuff down, like I could add a D down here, stuff like that. But we're not going to do that for this class. All right? We are only going to use E, F, G. How come I went from G to A? How come I didn't go H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P? Why? Right, the music alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. There is no H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay? We good? Yeah, there's no Q, R, S, no T, U, V. All right, so these are our building blocks, and we are going to use those to spell words with actual music notes. So if I want to spell the word fed, like I fed my cat, who can tell me where I'm going to put a music note to make the F? Raise your hand if you can tell me where to put it. Yes, sir. Yes. And when he says the last line, he means the very top line, because he went to himself, Elvis's guitar broke down Friday. Now, question, would he have been correct if he told me this?
No.
Yes, those are both an F. You have a space note F and you have a line note F. All right, you with me? All right, so where would I put my E? Yes, sir. Yes, exactly. E for Elvis. Now, what would be his other option? Where?
In the middle of the top.
You mean the top space?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes, it would be in the top space. And then the D is a line note. Is A a space note or a line note? Yes.
Space.
It's a space note. And counting from the bottom, I would say it's in space number 2. All right. Where would I find C, my friend? Yeah. Where would I find C?
On the bottom one, like the second bottom one.
Is this what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's A. So F A.
Sorry, the top. That one.
Yeah. Okay, and we would call that the third space because we start at the bottom. Okay, now E. I have 2 choices. All right, and you get to pick. Are we doing the line note or the space note?
We're doing the line.
All right. So if we did the line note, I would do it just like that. All right. Are you ready to try some on your own?